And we're back with another day of 7 Days to Die. This is actually day 32. We started a little early because the previous episode ended in a game crash, which I was incredibly worried might be our MD5 error, but it's not, apparently. So, good. And we're done with that. So, we will go in here and get our. I guess it would help if we put the appropriate amount of fuel in. Let's see, 20. Here, let's do it this way. Housekeeping, housekeeping. I wonder why. I'm gonna have to start doing like a water flow type thing. Maybe we'll screw with that later just for fun. Let's see. Also, we got a bunch of sand. Or, excuse me, a bunch of stone. I'm gonna get some more sand going. Hey, what's up, Bullet? Oh, not much, man. Got this stream started early in the day because we had a crash coming out of the previous one. Screwing around, basically. What you been up to? Actually, that might do it. We'll see. We'll see how that goes next time. I kind of like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Is that what you when you, I know you mentioned a while back. I think it was a few months ago when I was doing a KCD stream. We were talking about Fortnite. Do you play the normal, like the regular single player game, or the campaign or whatever it is, or do you play battle royale or both? Yeah, I'd like to check it out at some point. I don't know. I'm just for whatever reason I just haven't. It seems like a cool game. Maybe the cartooniness of it kind of maybe deters me a little bit. Not that I'm a snob about that necessarily. It's just I don't know. I've just got so much other stuff to play. I just figure it'll be there. Because I don't think that game's going anywhere anytime soon. It's incredibly popular. It's kind of crazy how that worked. Because I knew of Fortnite for a while. I mean, people were talking about it, and I know a lot of 7 Days players had played it because there's some similarities, and um, most people it seems preferred 7 Days, amongst the 7 Days crowd, obviously. And then they came out with Battle Royale, and it just absolutely just excuse me exploded in popularity. I was screwing around on Twitch last night, just looking at some stuff to watch. It doesn't. That's cool. Yeah, and that's not a slam on the game. I just it's just was just an observation. I think it actually looks really cool. I like that art style. I kind of like that retro. Almost looks like kind of '60s art style, like the Jetsons, kind of thing. I was excuse me. I was poking around on here on Twitch last night, and I saw a streamer. This guy had, and I'm not kidding. This isn't an exaggeration. He had 90,000 viewers watching him play Fortnite. 90,000. Like, and you'd watch. I'd go and watch the view count, Like it would fluctuate between like 88 and 90,000. I mean, that fluctuation is more than most streamers, 10 any other like 10 or 15 other streamers combined, just the fluctuation. 90,000 viewers. That's just crazy. Yeah, I got a workbench and a that's great. Um Yeah, I think that's who it was. 170,000 watching him right now. It's just freaking insane. So, but that's what that was. That was a tournament. I guess that's probably why, huh? Because it's a tournament. That's just nuts. 170,000 viewers. Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. We're definitely gonna get some angry locals tomorrow. I've been burning forges and campfires all night up here, and a cement mixer. That sounds like a spider. That's crazy. The only thing I was wondering is how he got that name. That's what I'm toiling over right now. I think I'm gonna rebrand. And like, there are no, like, it's just impossible to get a good name. Like, I've been just through everything. That's honestly why I haven't been streaming as much the last couple of days. Because I've just been like, just hashing all of that out. Various, just doing various things. I don't want to get all into it, but it's maddening. And he's got that awesome name. Like, I wonder, he must have like started on Twitch like the first week it was up. Like 5 years ago or whenever it was. Alright, I gotta do a little... I gotta do a little math real quick. Let's see, just to make sure I'm right on this. It's... times 5 divided by 60. Yeah, 250. Good. Yeah. I've got one that I came up with, it's... Well, I don't want to get all into the specifics, but I found one I really like, and I can get it on Twitch. I can even get the domain if I want it. I can get it absolutely everywhere that I've looked, and I haven't gone through the whole list of 24 places that you need to get. But I've done the key ones like Twitch and, YouTube and, Steam, that kind of thing. And the only place I can't get it is on Xbox Live. Some guy's got it, and he's just sitting on it. It's a silver account. He's never. He has no achievements. He has no. It's like it appears to have never been used. It was just registered, and it absolutely. This is the shit right here that absolutely drives me crazy. It's one thing to not be able to get your name, But like it's like people just went through and are just sitting on names, and it just drives me absolutely batshit. I really think they should charge you money to register a name on Xbox. I don't. And probably PlayStation should do the same thing. I think it's bullshit. People just signing up and just sitting on names that they're never gonna use. You know. I had another thing I was doing. What time is it? We kind of need to get going, but I'm gonna kind of keep screwing with this for a minute. I had a business thing I was doing a couple of years ago, unrelated to streaming, and I was uh, dealing with trademarks in the U.S. Patent Office, and the Patent Office has kind of like trademark law is kind of interesting, and I don't know how much of it is law and how much is just policy and regulation. But the way it works is, you can register a trademark. It involves some filing fees and things like that, and generally it's probably good to get an attorney to do it for you. Um, just so you make sure you've got everything done properly. It's not terribly expensive. I mean, it's not cheap like for like an individual to do, but for a business to do it, it's not terribly expensive. It's, depending on what your lawyer winds up costing you and all of that, what your attorneys wind up fees they generate, but the fees themselves really aren't that much. Um, but what's interesting, and an attorney friend of mine explained this to me, like, when you get if you've ever you hear about this all the time, like somebody will use a name that's kind of close to a trademark, or is basically they'll get a cease and desist letter from a big company's like attorney, and people always kind of seem to have the impression that it's companies being kind of heavy-handed and whatnot, and about their trademark and whatnot. The thing a lot of people don't realize is you're required by law or policy, whatever the case may be with that, to defend your trademark, because they want them to always be in play. Because if someone starts infringing on your trademark and continues to use it, it could be demonstrated that they have through like fair use policies, and they can actually like take your trademark out from under you. And that's why companies are so aggressive with defending their trademark. They're required to, by law. And the reason for all of that, and the reason I get into it, is because the patent office and the lawmakers, they want trademarks to always be in play. They don't want people just sitting on a trademark for 100 years just because they paid the fees and registered it. Even with domain registration, you can squat on a domain, but there's a time element to it. Eventually your registration runs out and you have to re-register, and there are fees involved, et cetera, et cetera. So even that's kind of the same thing. Well, here you've got like online commerce going on essentially with Twitch and Xbox and these major networks, and people are just able to squat on names. Yeah, it is a spider. I'll be damned. There's another one over here. No, that's not a spider. But also, I'm a big nerd, and that's just my way of bitching about not being able to get the names I like. This is that on Xbox? That sucks. Well, you know, one thing I've considered, and I wouldn't actually do this because I don't want to spend the money on it. It would require, you know, attorneys, and you know, just don't want to deal with it. It's just easier just to come up with something with an alternative. I kind of wonder when this kind of thing goes on. I mean, you know, it can be demonstrated that you know business is being done on these platforms, you know, easily. And I wonder if you were to actually register that as an actual registered trademark with the patent office and use it in every other place, um, you know, to demonstrate usage, not just for that reason, you'd actually be using it. And then just have your attorneys take it up with Microsoft, because technically, he would be infringing on your. Oh shit! We might have a death out here. Am I bleeding again? I am. Well, that was pretty exciting. I don't tend to, you know, I tend to take precautions where I don't get a ton of screamers. I've never had a feral called in on me. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like you could just take it to the point where, I mean, if you own the trademark and someone's infringing on it, Microsoft can't allow them to infringe it. You know, this is for the same reason that you couldn't register Coca-Cola and have Coca-Cola take a, like you couldn't have your gamer tag as Coca-Cola and then have Coca-Cola take issue with it and keep it. Microsoft would have to step in, because then they would be liable for that infringement of their mark. I keep saying copyright infringement. It's not. It's trademark infringement. Is what it is. Especially if they're not using it. You know, they would have some arguments, I believe, you know, not being an attorney, but from my understanding of the way it all works, they would have some, oh, nice. They would have some arguments for fair use and whatnot if they already had it and were already using it. But if they're not using it at all, then there you go. Yeah, Yeah, that's what I keep running into. I've run into that on Xbox with like 5 different names I'd like to use, and a couple of them I could get everywhere else except for there, and just people aren't using them. So that was pretty cool. Little morning excitement. Gonna make those seeds just so I don't accidentally eat them, but we're not gonna plant them today. Yeah. The worst one I've seen yet was hops. Like, you see how this here, hold on, I'm gonna see how this object is just literally just like, you know, like it's just a, I don't know what you call that, a face, a face going that way and a face going that way, and it's just, just a basic, but it kind of masks it by having the transparent parts, and and the way the flowers work. Like you kind of like you could see it like when you're right on top of it, especially, but it's not that big of a deal. The hops, you can really see it. Like it just looks like this is a cardboard cutout. I'm sure that's something that will be improved at some point as the game gets closer to, as the PC version gets closer to a full release. I can't believe we got a feral out here. Kind of makes me think I need to, with the spiders, it kind of makes me think I need to maybe put a little spider protection around this building. Just run a little wood ledge out. Yeah, yeah, I think it's one extra with fertilizer. The problem with fertilizer is it's expensive. I might at some point. I was gonna do this on the last game. I might at some point go to burnt forest and see if I can dig fertilizer because I don't want to spend all that like fertilizers are like 4 nitrate each, and I need nitrate for gunpowder right now. And I imagine that need doesn't really ever end, and there's never enough of it. And I'm kind of thinking, I don't know if we'll do it before Horde night. We got a Horde on day 35. Kind of depends on how fast I get all this stuff back over here from that other town, but and how long it takes me to get back south. But I'm kind of thinking starting a real base is in order. I'm kind of tired of not building on this one. Like it's been fun doing all this different stuff, but I don't know that temporary base that I upgraded is gonna. I think the party's gonna be over with that soon. Plus, having everything spread out between two bases is kind of a pain in the ass too. I'd at least like to have a central place to take stuff like clothing and gun parts. Yeah, yeah. Fertilizer is great. It's just I don't know. What did you do for the? Did you make your fertilizer? Did you go dig it? I've just like never really gotten to the point where I wanted to accommodate it because it's just so easy just to set up a field out here, like out off to the side someplace. Generally once you've cleared the Zeds, they don't really mess with you. You'll get a wandering horde every now and then, but thinking I might do that with the base setup that I'm thinking about. But I want to test the horde. But I want to test the horde base part of it first before I build up from it, because I'm gonna do like it'll be like a tower type thing, going up, kind of like I said, doing things differently in this game. Usually I go underground. This one will be going up, and I was thinking it'd be cool to put a rooftop garden on that, and I would fertilize that because space would be a little tighter, and then probably maybe even take out all of these, but I don't know. Haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm pretty convinced we're gonna get an MD5 soon, with the way the crashes have been. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Oops. Good. Now I can sleep at night knowing we got good food supply. Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to grab. Now we got to go reel in what we looted yesterday, or most of it. I don't know if I'm gonna bring back every single thing, but day 37, you think? Yeah. We'll find out. I'd say that's a fairly safe bet, based on how the last one went. You know what? I'm gonna kind of go up this way. Is this wasteland over here? No, that's plains. Ow. Beating up the bike. I think that's radiation right there. Stop, damn it. God, just absolutely thrashing my bike up on these cactuses. On these cacti. No, that's not. No, that's not. Huh. Okay. Love to, like, build a road. Like, build your own, like, bridge and road system for your mini bike around. I'd love to do all that stuff. I'd love to tunnel between towns and have an underground tunnel network and whatnot. But like, I can't get this game. Like recently, I haven't been able to get the game past day 40 before I get an MD5 error. So it's just, I don't know. And I think I might be done for a while after the next one. I don't know. There's something else I kind of want to do too. But you always get to this point where it's like, okay, well, now we've farted around for a month. We got to build something. You know, and then it's like, well, do I really want to go to the effort of building something when I know it's gonna, when there's gonna be a crash and it's gonna get nuked? This really sucks. This fucking bug really sucks. Pardon my language, but it does. It's a showstopper with this game on Xbox. You know, the way I've played this particular playthrough has been totally because of that bug. Like, you know, well, hey, because I'd still be playing the other one if I still had my base over there. I'd be doing all of that. But it's just like, you kind of start getting into like, you know, what the hell's the point of playing if you can't build what you want to build without fear of it just being erased? And it's not even so much the buildings. Because buildings go up easy enough. It's all the stuff in them. You know, you spend 2 weeks collecting gun parts to have your entire gun collection go away. It's ridiculous. And frankly, I love this game, and I think it's cool that they're a small, you know, indie development house, you know, making a go of putting out a game that they want to do, you know, that they like and that people like, and it's innovative and very cool and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Frankly, I think it's inexcusable the amount of time that they've left this bug in this game on console. Like, it's one thing for it to exist. It's another for it to like have been been a problem to this extent for this long. And I'm ranting about the MD5 error again, and I gotta stop doing that. But what am I doing? Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know, I said this. I don't know if you went and watched my rant from when I got the last one, but I said this in that, and I've said this about other games, and it's not picking on Telltale or the Fun Pimps or Iron Galaxy or you know, the people who do this. I think it's actually the development house is actually Iron Galaxy that does the console version, and the publisher is Telltale, and then they, you know, liaison with the Fun Pimps for what they need from them. But, you know, this kind of thing goes on. This is just a really good example of it. And it's, you know, because it's pretty clear cut and a pretty egregious example of it, especially the fact that it's been a problem in the game for as long as it has been. Shit. Where are you? Where are you? Yeah, well, you can't infect me twice. It's just a really good example of it. But this kind of thing, this like that kind of attitude about uh hey Russ Lord, what's going on, buddy? But that kind of attitude about leaving long-standing bugs in games and just because they just don't can't be bothered to fix them or they can't afford to fix them or whatever goes on as a matter of course in the gaming industry. In the entertainment software industry, like it, it is just a matter of course that releasing flawed and unfinished products are acceptable. And I don't know why that is. We don't accept this with any other product or any other industry, but yet, you know, you've got companies in gaming, you know, entertainment software development that like literally their freaking business model is based on being able to release, you know, buggy shit. And stuff that doesn't work. It's like I swear, it's like the game industry. These companies are like in a contest to see who can get away with the most before somebody actually drops the hammer. You know, Ubisoft, I think saw the limits a few years ago. Um, Whatever year that was it 2014? I think it was 2014 when it was that was the year the new generation consoles came out that fall, and the first Assassin's Creed for the new generation consoles, Unity came out. Assassin's Creed Unity, and it was just an absolute mess, like just a complete mess. Where did those? There we go. Um, and it was such a mess. Hang on, I'm trying to see. That should go. That should definitely go. We'll take that. We'll take that. We'll take that. Trying to get stuff that will stack. And it was such a mess that they had at the time of sale. I mean, and it's been a few years, so I may be a little fuzzy on this. At the time of sale, they had promised certain. They had promised a certain release date on the DLC at the time of the sale of the season pass, which was, you know, when the game launched, and they didn't deliver on that. And like about a month later or so, they came out with this thing where like they offered everybody a free game out of their library if it could be digitally downloaded on any of the platforms, which, you know, is pretty much all of them. But they had a catalog of like 12, 16 games that they would let you choose from. I had already played Black Flag on 360, but I went ahead and bought it on or got the that was my free game. I got the free game on for Xbox One with that. With that freebie. And I was reading an article about it, and somebody had gone into the fine print and had an attorney look at it, and they there was language in the agreement to get that free game that that by accepting the free game, you were indemnifying Ubisoft from any legal action, any class action lawsuits for X period of time. So basically they were credibly worried about a class action lawsuit over the condition and and how they performed as a company in that with that particular game. And I think that's absolutely outstanding. And I'm not a big sue happy person. I think most lawsuits are completely ridiculous, and I think the whole tort environment that we're currently in our day and age is a problem. But yeah, no, this industry needs some schooling on that, in my opinion. Because you simply can't name another industry that gets away with what this one consistently does as a matter of course. If your business model is based on releasing flawed and incomplete products to your customers, it's pretty cut and dry simple. You're engaging in consumer fraud. That's essentially what it is. It's consumer fraud. This game on console, technically speaking, as much as I love it and as much as I want the companies behind it to do well and do more like it, being intellectually honest and consistent, there's no getting around it. Having this game have this bug in it for this amount of time is consumer fraud. Straight up consumer fraud. And for some reason, with any other company or any other product, we hold those engaged in those businesses to account in some way, and for some reason we don't in entertainment software. And I've been gaming for over 40 years at this point. I have no idea why that is, and it's only gotten worse over the last 10 years. Like it has not improved. Like that Ubisoft thing is like stands out to me because it's the only time I've ever seen any real concession to the fact that they exist in a real world where real world rules do apply to them. Yeah, I've seen that. That happens on console, or it did. I think the patch, one of the either the last patch or the big one before that, like fixed it. When I first started playing, we would get standing zombies a lot after you killed them. That now every once in a while, like you'll go to loot one and they'll pop up on you. But I'm not really talking about like annoying bugs and buggy things. I mean that's to be expected. I'm talking about showstoppers. You know, games that have like crash errors and crash bugs and like the MD5 error in this one. I mean, just like you can put a couple hundred hours into a game and then have your progress just randomly deleted, with a crash. I mean, it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. And for some reason, we make allowances for that for the entertainment software industry. And I've never understood, 40 years of gaming, It's never been as bad as it has been in the last 10 years. And I just don't understand why that is. I think it's because we gamers just continue to pay for it. We don't demand better en masse, you know. I don't think there's really any other industry that has a fanboy problem the way the way entertainment software, the entertainment, you know, you've got people cheerleading for you to engage in abhorrent business practices, essentially. I don't know that any other business gets that, you know. Like, are there car freaks out there, you know, like gunning for Chrysler and General Motors to like release cars that don't run? You know, to launch cars every year that, you know, randomly stop working. I don't know. It's just funny to me. It's just funny. Just this idea that because you like a video game, the actual real world rules that apply to business practices don't apply to gaming. They just don't. And we en masse put up with it. And continue buying crap that doesn't work and breaks easily. And my favorite is when you criticize this, and you get the whole cadre of fanboys. Well, they're a small developer. They're doing the best they can. They're a for-profit business. They're not doing this out of charity or out of the goodness of their hearts. I'm sorry, and just fuck that. Fuck that and the horse it rode in on. Just that very standpoint can go fuck itself, and the people proffering it can go fuck themselves as well, as far as I'm concerned. You know, you are rationalizing being defrauded with that argument. But anyway, that's my rant about the current state of ethics in the entertainment software industry. They get away with murder. I've never understood why that is. They get away with murder. You know, I would have loved it if I was when we were in the movie business. We used to kill ourselves. I used to do post-production. I was essentially a producer for post. And, you know, meeting our deadlines in order to get everything done from the technical end so that it could go to the labs and have prints struck, and, you know, the print control people could do everything they need to do to get all the release materials out. You know, would have us working, you know, 24-hour days at times just to meet those deadlines, because there's certain stuff that always takes, no matter how much you rush it, if you don't have X done by whatever day, you know, you're not going to have, you know, whatever you need from that ready, you know, 2 weeks from now. It's just how it works. Because you can't change the laws of time and space. Some things just take a while. And you know, we used to work night and day. Sometimes 24-hour days, you know, in that last month leading up to when we had to have everything locked and into the lab to get things out on time. You know, I wonder how it would have been received if we had just said, "Oh, making movies is hard." You know, there are technical problems that arise, you know, all of which is true. There are technical problems that arise during the filmmaking process. You know, and we had some problems licensing music and whatnot. So, you know, we're gonna go ahead. You can buy your movie ticket to come watch our movie. but we don't have the third act. We don't have the last 15 minutes done. We'll release that to you later, or there's just no music in the second half of the movie. You know, we'll get that to you when we get around to it. You know, when we can afford it, or when, you know, we just feel like hiring the people necessary to get that done. You see my point? Like, it's just ass backwards what we accept from these companies is just ridiculous. Frankly, it's just absolutely absurd. Yeah, well, see, there's a perfect example. You know, I mean, the alpha thing has worked well for them on PC, and I think the game will ultimately be better because it's been in alpha for so long. I'm not saying there's a problem with that. You're absolutely correct. They sold this as a finished game on console, and that's inexcusable. And my understanding is the reason they did that is because while Xbox has an early access program, is a game preview program. Uh, uh, PlayStation does not. Should I go back for another load? Yeah, let's go for another load. Let's see what else we can get out of over there. PlayStation does not, and I think it was on console on PlayStation first, wasn't it? So basically, what they did was just, oh, we'll just go ahead and just release it. Fuck it. You know, it's an alpha, a game that's in alpha, but we're just going to go ahead and just release it because we want the sales on console. I'm sorry, but that, you know, as much as I love the game, and as much as I am pulling for the companies involved to do well, that's inexcusable. That is an abhorrent business practice right there. And there's no weaseling around it. There's no logic or argument that changes that. And that's what I don't think fanboys, you know, seem to realize. Like, they're defending the indefensible with their bullshit. Blind faith is what it is, essentially. You know, I could still love a game and still be intensely critical of the game and the people behind it. You know, it's called being intellectually honest and consistent. You know, but this goes on, you know, constantly. This game's just like a pretty decent example of it, but it goes on like absolutely freaking constantly in the games industry. And not even this should be in early access. It is on PC, and that's good. That's where it should be. I think we should have early access games, and I think, you know, it makes for you know, a more robust market. It gives game developers to go ahead and start making a little money on something that may not be you know, a huge game, and, you know, helps with the development of it, etc., etc. But, you know, like, Kingdom Come Deliverance was a perfect example of that. They sold that thing. That was a released game. That was and it was sold at the AAA price, top console price, top PC price, and it was not ready for prime time at all, like, whatsoever. You know, that game should have been in early access and sold for about $30 until they got it together. But hang on a second, I gotta make sure. I think I might be going the wrong way. This all looks the same up here. No, I think I'm right. Maybe. I don't want to get too far afield if I don't. Yes, we're good. In fact, I'm gonna cut it through here. You know, it's okay to release some stuff with bugs if you're honest about it, but, like, oh, Oh. Oh. Anyone want to tell me how we survived that? Oh, fuck. Any more? Oh, God. Okay, first things first. Painkillers. Pardon my language, but... And we'll do some food. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and mark this as a cave. Oh, there are more. There's another... Yeah. Well, at least we know where to come for nitrate, huh? I'm gonna grab some on the way out of here. Where's that Zed? Where's my bike? Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, well, while we're waiting for pills, I'm gonna grab some nitrate while we're here. Yeah, is this the kind of thing you do? Yeah, well, it's apparently my luck, too. I'm always falling off of stuff. I've fallen into caves a few times, actually, just never on a mini bike. That's the first timer on a mini bike. I had one in one of my early games when I was a newbie. I was running across a hill, and like like I never saw a cave. The ground collapsed under me. The hell is this? Did we hit a rabbit? Did we like land on a rabbit in here or something? Okay, well if you're gonna hunt me, hunt me. Let's go. That's pretty cool. This actually looks like a pretty sweet cave. I'm just sorry if this is boring, but we're gonna have to sit here for a minute. I want to get back to full health. I'm gonna have to eat one more pill, and then we'll get out of here. I don't know if I've got room for all of this. Okay, you know what? This is gonna have to go. That's gonna have to go. Close. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. What was that? Gas can? Oh. I hate to lose gas, but it's not that much. We'll get more. I guess the jars will have to go. Something else can go out of here. Kind of like to keep the meat. Yeah, jars can go. Meat's got to go. Killed a bear and didn't even get to keep the meat. Let's go down here and do this. Why is it? Oh, here we go. I need to do some work on this thing too. I've got my my miscellaneous crafting wasn't maxed when I built this, so I didn't like. And I should stash this food in the house because I don't. Oops. I don't need all this on me. I brought this because I thought we might be staying over here. Oops. But decided not to. Yeah, none of that stuff's still there. That sucks. 10 meat. That sucks. But oh well. Crisis averted. Man, we spent some time on that though. And all the hide. So basically, I got no credit for no trophy for killing my bear. But oh well. That could have been a lot worse. That could have been full of zombies. uh, all manner of It could have fallen damage. But yeah, no. Once when I was a newbie, I was running across um, a hill, like up near not terribly far from where I had set up a base, and there was a campground right there. So I hit the campground, looted it, and I think I had maybe seen a cave a ways away, but it wasn't anywhere really close. And I'm just running across the ground collapsed from under me. And I fell in there, and I don't remember if the fall got me or if Zed's got me or something, but I definitely died at the bottom. And it was so early in the game, I think I remember just leaving my pack. Like I think that was back when I was playing with like just tool belt drops or just backpack drops, one or the other. I do everything now. Well, that certainly added a little extra adventure to the afternoon. I don't think I didn't do the Shamway. There's another one kind of like in here where we did the food mart. I think it's here, I think, maybe. Yes. And we finished we got all of those, so cool. Will it make this hill? I don't know. I've never tried one of these where it's all... Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, God. I thought that was going to be another cave right there. I may have to highlight that. That was pretty funny, actually. In fact, I think I will highlight that. Gotta remember to do it. Oh. Got some honey for us? Nope. This has been an eventful day. Got a feral called in on us from a screamer. Went accidentally caving on a mini bike. Kind of exciting for a day that was just basically doing some farming and moving a bunch of crap back from the other town. time is it? 6 o'clock. Okay. Need to get some wood together. We're a little light on wood. Yeah, yeah, Z Nation, man. Like I'll sit down, I'll put one of his videos on like during dinner one night, about to play the game, and just have something to watch while I eat before I get on to play. And and then I just keep watching. Like it's like you got to see what he's doing because you don't he doesn't there's no there's no narration. And so it's like you start seeing him laying stuff out, and it's like, what is he doing? Wind up spending the next 6 or 8 hours just watching his 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 playthrough. It's crazy the stuff he does. Big fan of his stuff. I really love that one he did with the platform, the big platform over water. I thought that was pretty sweet. And I never did watch all of the arena one. Like I watched like the first, like the beginning of that, and then I made it to like where he was building up on that big. He had that weird ground formation that extended up into the sky. So I got to where he was building on that, and then I didn't really finish it, and I probably should. There was another one also that was just freaking amazing, and I can't remember offhand what it was. It's been a while. But yeah, no, I love Z Nation, man. That's just it's just like crazy. Kind of makes me want to start playing on PC actually. This not being able to build when I want to build is like putting a serious damper on playing this on Xbox. And I love the Xbox version. It's not a lack of content or not being up to date with the PC version or anything like that at all. It's just that bug. It's like, here, let's release a building game where you can spend 200 hours building stuff and then leave a bug in for years at a time that can randomly delete what they built. That's fucking brilliant. Pardon my language. And act as if we're doing charity work when we hint around about fixing it or not fixing it. I'm seriously considering. I don't know. I shouldn't say this. It'll sound like I'm threatening someone, and I'm not. But I think this situation could stand some letter writing to certain people, like Microsoft. Not that that's gonna matter. Like the Federal Trade Commission. They've acknowledged the problem, and they've pretty much just said, we've narrowed it down. We'll get around to it when we fucking get around to it, basically. And we'll do it out of the goodness of our hearts. Fuck that. We paid them for a product that doesn't work. And it's not really directed at these guys specifically or this game specifically. I've just been gaming for so long and just watching this over the last 10 years especially. Like, this industry in general, like, needs a comeuppance. Needs some serious comeuppance. Because the way this industry does business as a general matter is just not right. And I don't even think it's legal, to be honest. Has he not? I think so. Was that the last one? The one he did up on the, or the arena one? Because that was the last one I saw a few months ago. Well, I'm guessing. I mean, he's a player. I imagine he's probably like everybody else. Just probably just, you know, needed a break and went on to play other stuff. Yeah, yeah, that's the one I was talking about. So that's as far as he got. I randomly caught a couple more episodes of that the other day. But I didn't watch much past that. So that's pretty much as far as he got, was doing that thing on that rock formation. I dig the music he uses too. Like, and it's none of it, like absolutely none of it, is the kind of music I would actually like listen to. You know, like that would not be my go-to, but it's like it fits his videos just absolutely perfectly, and it kind of makes you get into it a lot more. At least for me, it all works really well together. Like just his videos in general are great. The Pit, was that the one where he was using explosive crossbow bolts down there. It all kind of. It's been a while, and I'm having trouble remembering. There was one that was my favorite, and I can't remember what it was now actually. But I thought the one up on the platform was pretty cool, and the arena was pretty cool. But there was one before that that I liked even better, and maybe it was the pit. I don't know. I'm going to have to go look again. But am I thinking? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Bullet, the one you're talking about with the where he had a pit. We had a bunch of traps down there, but then he had like kind of a fallback area, like where he could kind of shoot down, and he was using explosive crossbow bolts on the pit. Yeah, yeah. But wasn't he using explosive crossbow bolts down on that? I'm a little fuzzy, but I seem to remember there being one where he had like just like boatloads of irradiated zombies coming in there, and he was just wailing on them with explosive bolts. Major